Hey, welcome back to the Successful Marketing Summit. This is part 2 of my interview with Christian Bagge. So, Christian, feel free to take it away.
Well, thank you so much. Hello, everybody. My name is Christian Bagge, and I've been running a bunch of different production companies, mostly working with producing videos for internal communications and creating a great value within the production and moving information with online video in the companies that are creating value for the company. So today I was thinking that we're going to go through the basics of how to create your own strategy and what you need to know how to start up the movement of creating more video within your company and using your staff and your employees as ambassadors to create this. So let's get started. So as I said, I believe that video is a strategic tool for creating business value with communication. And that's why I've been starting a company called Cloudreel. We help companies create their own value with mostly the strategy of creating video content. But let's start with some facts. Why should we use video in general? There are a bunch of different facts around this, but I will talk a little bit more about the major things. Like 80% of all traffic on the internet is online video 2020. There are a bunch of different numbers on this, but what I want to say is there's a lot of content on the internet in video. And as a company, we need to meet this demand out there to be able to reach the new target group, millennials and younger people that are entering the companies, and demand that they want to have, they need to have online video inside the companies. They made a survey on the internal communication for a couple of years ago here in Sweden, and they found out that less than 2% of the internal communication is online video. And that's really interesting, because if you see to another fact that the brain absorbs information from a video 50,000 times faster than written text, then you can imagine how you can increase the flow of information inside your company if you start to produce more video. And then it means that the video needs to be made by a purpose. But just these two numbers are like the set of you must start working more with video content inside your company. So what I say that a company needs is a company needs to communicate more with video, because the efficiency of using the video as a information channel, it's much more efficient than written text and pictures. And companies need a film strategy based on the challenges in their communication. You can't just start producing a lot of video content, because if they're not connected to a challenge and not drives your business, it will just be even more information that's not needed in the company. So you need a clear strategy and only convert the communication that drives your business to video. And companies need to produce more videos themselves with own ambassadors, because you cannot create this by yourself. To start to move from, let's say, 2% to at least 10%, you need to increase the video production with 5 times. You can't do it yourself. You need the ambassadors inside the company that are helping you create the content. So that's 3 points that I think it's really important to understand and realize that You need to start to communicate more with the video, but you need to do it with a film strategy, and you need to use ambassadors to create the content, because you won't be able to do it yourself. Okay, let's get started. So step one is to understand the power of video, is to realize where should we use, when should we use video, and when is the true power of video. I'm going to show you a short commercial from SAS in Scandinavia, and then we're going to, after this, we're going to discuss what's most important within this video. So this is the latest commercial from SAS, and it's called The Arrivals. So let's take a look at it.
Have you ever stopped and observed the spectacle of the arrival hall? Look at the faces of the people waiting. Do they wonder if anything changed while we were gone? What did we bring back? Did we find what we were looking for? Was the world different than we thought? Was there a realization at the end of our journey? Maybe that we don't have many journeys left. Or that we left someone important behind. Sometimes the journey is life-changing. Sometimes we change the world. But most times, the world changes us. We find love. Or we fall in love with what we left back home. We come home with a new family, with new priorities, with experiences that will stay with us forever, with an idea we believe in. And at SAS, we send millions of travelers through these doors every year. We know change when we see it. And we know it's for the better.
Okay, so why did I show this video commercial? That's because this is so powerful, and you know why? Because it's pure and it's honest. It's true emotion, and the emotions are so important to be. They need to be true and honest, because otherwise you're acting. And you're so used to see these type of commercials that are acted and so on. So you don't take them to your heart. So this is the most important thing I'd like to tell you, and I need you to to adapt is that be honest and be genuine. Be close to your target group. So the key factors is just if you are trustworthy and close to myself, and I mean myself as a target group for watching the video, then you can reach the heart. And then you have the true power of using video. That means if you're using the mobile phone, you can come really close to the person that they're interviewing or want to share their knowledge. And when you get that close and genuine, you can feel as a viewer that okay, this is honest production, and I believe it, and I can adapt it. That means that, for example, I went to a company and to start to shoot when they wanted to do the CEO wanted to do the monthly report and announcement on video, and I had my production company, and we went there with just like a pre-meeting and to the marketing manager and see, okay, what do you want to have done? And she told us that, yeah, we want to do an interview with the CEO. I said, yeah, fine, that's no problem. I have a production company and we do production, so it sounds like a good deal. But I had a feeling of this. So I said, do you think we can just go into the CEO and just ask him a few questions, and so that I can bring it back and prepare the team for in the production company? Yeah, sure, she said. So I brought her mobile phone, and we went into the CEO and just asked, can we borrow you for 5 minutes? Yeah, no problem, he said. And then she asked this question that you wanted to promote in the report, and we shot it with the mobile phone, and he answered so genuine and honest on these questions. And I went back out after 5 minutes, and the marketing manager just got so inspired and so happy. Just, yeah, that's exactly what I want you to produce and to film. And I just felt that we cannot create that. If we come in with a big film crew, a big camera, putting up some lamps and everything, this CEO will never be able to communicate as honest, genuine, and trustworthy as he did when we were there. So I just gave her the phone and said, "This one is on me. Here you have it. We can't do it better." That's when I started to realize that I need to help companies to produce their own content instead of producing with the production companies. Like this SAS movie, yeah, sure, you need to use the production company. It's a fantastic production produced in 5 days in an airport. But for the quantity of the productions that must be produced, you need to do it yourself. So that leads us into step 2, the strategy. This is how we do it. How can you create your own film strategy? It's not that hard, actually. I'm going to walk you through. As in all communication and marketing, you have a purpose, you have a target group, you have your distribution channels, and you do some kind of production to the target group and to the distribution channels. For example, if you have this quarterly report from the CEO, the CEO needs to address the shareholder and the board, and will be a little bit stressed up because, okay, this is the quarter, we need to report this. Okay, I have the shareholders, the board, they want to hear all the numbers and how we have done and everything. So what happens is that you start to produce this video for helping the CEO out, and CEO only talks about these numbers because in his top of mind, the target group is the shareholder and the board. So the production will be just producing a lot of, mentioning a lot of numbers, because the purpose is to get them calm and see that their heart, in this case, the heart is numbers, is to meet their heart. So this CEO will only talk about these numbers. And what happens then is that then you feel that, okay, I have my production, and we need also to address the employees with some sort of information from this quarterly report. So you send the same video to all the employees. But what happens? Now you change this film strategy with this exact video that you're sending out, because the target group is not interested. They don't feel the heart with hearing a lot of number. They want to hear, do I have my job next month? What have I done to create this fantastic results? My colleagues, what have they done? So what I say is, when you do this video for the quarterly report, make two. First one, to just keep the CEO calm, make him talk to make him calm and express himself towards the shareholders and the board and all the people that are in charge of him or her, and then take a new shot, make a new production. It just takes a few minutes, maybe 4 or 5 minutes to make a new video. And then you tell the CEO, okay, now you're talking to the employees, so you need to address them. And that will mean that the CEO will address the audience now as employees, and hopefully will say, thank you so much for helping out this area we had such a big challenges with, but together we solved it, etc., etc. And thank you for Bob creating this great opportunity and solving this issue with one of our biggest clients, so they can keep so we can keep producing to them, etc., etc. It's really important to involve the employees. And if we look at the internal and external production, so this is how it looks like in companies today. They have a lot of external production and not that much internal video production. Tomorrow, we need to increase the external production, but we need to explode the internal production. This is why we need the strategy, because we won't be able to handle this if we don't do it in a smart way. So we need to create this with the strategy, with the distribution, and we need to do it with ambassadors, so that through the strategy we see that, okay, every quarterly we need this CEO report, every month we need this other video, we need the production videos that explains of all our new products, etc., etc., etc. That means we need, in the plan, we need to sort out who is delivering what video, and then deliver to the person in responsible, the responsible person for the whole, for the video content. Once we have created this, we have a solid strategy for start to producing more videos that are always driving our business forward. I'm going to show you just a few best practice. Like copy paste on news TV, like creating the internal news channel. It's easy to produce, and if like you see here, it's a company just producing with their own mobile phone, and you can easily involve the entire organization. For example, if you spread out in the whole world, you can just ask offices outside where you can't travel to, or they are a part that doesn't feel involved in the company. You can just ask them to send material to you, and you put them in this news, and suddenly they are involved in the organization. And that means also that it's really low cost, because you don't need to send out the production teams, etc. You can just do the copy paste as they do on the news. And if you see the news, sometimes it's just an image with a voiceover, because they didn't have anything else, but they want to show it. They have a telephone interview, and they just have a picture with a small phone on, and they say, okay, this is an interview on the phone. Okay, fine, I get it. And nowadays we can use just easily like screen captures of a webcast or whatever, but we can get involved in a very low cost and cost efficiency way. But you still need a strategy. What do you want to put in this communication? And the internal news is a smart way of just putting this strategy together and get it easy to understand for the viewers. And as I said, show that you are doing it yourself. It's a powerful source, and it shows that you're not spending money on expensive productions. You're spending the money on in a smart way. And you're producing, you know how to spend the money to create great value for the employees. Okay, so we went through the emotions, the most important part to create the great value of the video. We walked you through the strategy, how to set up it, and now action. We need to make it happen. So the challenges, they are the technical issues. You need to find ambassadors and educate them. You need to standardize the production, and you need a distribution setup that meets the channels and to meet the target group that you set up in the strategy. So let's start with the technical issues. Solve them. This is one part that is so important to be proactive in. You need to have this plan. You need to look at the technical issues, and you need to solve them. Because if you don't solve them, they will stop you creating video content. So, for example, you need to understand how to get good sound to the when you record with a mobile phone. That's a technically, you need to buy a microphone. Yeah. You need to have a place where you can send out the content from. So you need like a platform like CloudReel, or like if you're just using YouTube, you need to plan this, and you need to integrate it and get IT with you, so they are not fighting against you, they are fighting with you. Okay? So when you have set up this strategy, take a look at the technical issues, just solve them. Then you will solve so many problems that you otherwise will have in the future. Okay, find ambassadors. Find the joy and interest of the ambassadors, so they feel that they are doing something that they really want. And educate them in the specific video you want them to do. That means that you have like surgery in small parts of the company that they get really, really good at creating, and that are sending to their target group in a very, very efficient way. And set up a plan of when and how they should deliver. And this is to guide them to get it a solid plan, so they can, even if they start, they will continue, and they will continue forever until you stop them. This is so important to get the continuously production, because otherwise it will just start up with one video, and then it will end up later. Follow up and continue education. It's really important to feel for the persons that are creating the content, that they are getting better. So keep on continue the education of the ambassadors. And then standardize the production. Invest time in pre-production. Set up templates. Look how you want to communicate and make it easy to do this production standardized. Yeah, and that's like create templates for all video and include your graphic profile and make sure that it's easy to use. Because if it's easy to use and easy to produce, then it's easy to get in the flow and start creating more and more videos. And follow the plan of the production. It's important because if you don't stick to the plan and start to creating your own stuff, you won't get the same efficiency of the communication as you need. And make it easy to produce according to your strategic business value. This is so important. So stick to the plan and make sure that you're working for the business value. That every video that you're creating is creating a value in some way. And then the distribution setup. Locate your target groups. Find the distribution channel to the specific target group. It can be like the Facebook group, or if you have some internet or whatever. But just locate it and create fixed channels. So every time you put a new video in this channel, it automatically goes to your target group. And pre-arrange all these channels. If you have them arranged already, so when you produce, you don't need to think about how to get to the target group because it's pre-arranged. And focus on what's in it for me as the viewer. Always. How can you get the viewer to feel that, okay, this is so important for me. This is how I connect. When you do that, you have the strength in the whole strategy. I'm going to walk you through how easy it should be to produce a video with the templates. You start to film with your mobile phone and just upload to a specific project. And in this case, I'm going to walk you through how it works in CloudReel. So you just upload your clips from your phone to this specific project. And then you enter create, and you start your demo. So this is with SAS. And this specific video is named Comfort Kit. It's a new Comfort Kit for business class in SAS. And in this case, they had like 3 short interviews. So we just shot this and answered the questions one by one. So it's easy to edit and it's easy to be genuine in the response. And after that, we add some shot that shows the product. And as you saw there, you can edit in and out in the specific overlays. And then we choose 3 different overlays just to make it a little bit nicer. We can walk. We don't need to fill in everything, but we want some music. We have a deal with Universal Music, so you have all the rights that you need. What happens now is that we've already created throughout the templates. There's a done video already, and if you see in the lower part, you have the interviews, and then you have the overlay. So if we press play, we can see the video. The music is lowered a little bit, it's 5% approximately. You have the overlays, you have name tag.
Vad det gäller hållbarhet gör vi
You go
allt
back
från
to
att
the
titta
interview.
på lättare interiör ombord till bättre matförpackningar.
You show the overlay. All of this is just shot with the mobile phone, and it took like 20 minutes to shoot.
Det nya kittet består
So this
av
means
utvalda
that
produkter från
you, within
partners
like
som har fokus
half an
på
hour,
design,
can
kvalitet
create
och hållbarhet.
a really nice interview. Like for example, in this case, it took less than a minute to edit the video. And this is the most important when you start to creating this type of videos, that you need to get this flow and you need to create these templates, because once you've done it, it's so easy, and everybody can, you can start using your ambassadors to create these type of videos in a smart, efficient, and smooth way. All right, so I would like you to start to penetrate a little bit how you can create your own strategy. And this is an easy way of how to do it. The video comes from a purpose. You identify the target group. You identify the distribution channel. Who should do this? Is it externally or internally? How should we do it? And when? So, for example, the CEO monthly, the purpose is we need to have a better presence of the management. We need to create better confidence for the management. Okay, the target group, all employees. We distribute it through internet, workplace, etc. Who will do this? Okay, the CEO assistant. And how? Okay, with the template, maybe the one we just saw, filming with mobile phone. And when? Okay, last Friday every month. This is a part of your strategy. So if you continue to do the next video and the next video and the next video, then you have created your whole film strategy. And you can just implement it in your communication strategy and in your business model, because this will drive your business. It's proven. It's like we have numbers on it. You will get better business if you do this. So just wish you all good luck. And as a summary, you need to create a strategy based on the challenges. Adapt the video to the target group. What's in it for me, for the audience? It's so important. Touch the audience. Be genuine and get close. Dare to be honest. And then train the ambassadors. Give them easy targeted templates and instruction, so that they can start to do this and feel confident in creating more and more and more video. At the same time, they drive your business forward. And use tools customized for your needs. For example, like I showed you with Cloudly. That's the most efficient way to create a better value for your company. So that was all I had. I hope you found it interesting and that you can find it useful to adapt in your own company. And thank you for listening. Okay, in this part, we're going to walk you through a little bit more of how to produce the video and how to make it good with just using your mobile phone. In the other part, we spoke more about the strategy and the pure emotions, how to distribute a video that gives great effect and business value for the company. So if you haven't seen that part, please take a look at that before you start to learn how to create the video, because it's really important to have a strategy to create really good content online. But I'm going to walk you through a few tips, and we'll discuss it meanwhile. So I will show you a couple of short video clips. We'll start with the introduction.
It's easy to make a film on your smartphone. Record, produce, edit, all on a touch of a button. And as you have your phone with you always, you can do it whenever you want, and you feel comfortable using it. Watch our short films now on platform, and you'll see just how easy it is to make a film.
So this is the major strategy of just putting all content together and be able to share the content with all the people that are supposed to produce videos. So let's start.
There's several things to think about when making a film on your smartphone. One common mistake is that people tend to hold the phone the wrong way around. Move it horizontal like this. That's better. Also, good to remember, keep the phone still. It doesn't shake, as this will disturb the film. So you want to use a zoom. No problem, do this. One good thing to remember is you film a little bit at the beginning of the film and a little bit at the end of the film. You will need this later when you edit the film. Also, very important is make sure there's enough storage on your telephone.
Yeah, some basic general tips, and let's start to go through step by step. We start with a steady image.
Obtaining a stable picture on your smartphone is very important when filming. The simplest way to do this is by placing your phone on the table. There's a lot of equipment on the market which is very useful for helping you make a film. You have this small tripod here, easy to put onto the table. You have this one, flexible, bendy. Then you have the classic selfie stick. Everybody's seen one of these. There's two ways to use this. The classic, or you can also rest it on your shoulder to make a film. Very useful. Then we have these big tripods like the one we're using here today. So is it important to have a stable picture? Yes, it's very important. Otherwise, the risk is the viewer will lose the message you're trying to give them.
And as it says, it's really important to have this stable picture because it's create much better value in feeling in the video. And there's a lot of stabilizers as well. You can use like a handhold stabilizer that costs like €100. But it's important to act and take action of not just holding the mobile phone shaky like this, and use some kind of tripod and stabilization to get the production stable. Okay, next part is good sound, and this is one of the hardest thing with producing videos with mobile phone is to get good sound. But let's take a look how what we get the tip.
Good sound quality gives the film a professional feeling. It's not that difficult to achieve. One of the most common and easiest ways is to use your headphones. Everybody has them. Important to make sure they have a microphone on. Plug them into your smartphone. Practice a few times. Check the sound. It's important that it's not too close to your mouth and not too far away. One tip could be to tape it onto your chest. If you would like to raise the quality of sound on your film, then there are different microphones available on the market. You have this one that I'm using here today. You attach it to the person you're interviewing. And we have this one. It's a bit more advanced. You connect it to your telephone. You can adjust it to the direction that you would like to capture the sound. One thing, though, it's very important to remember is to make sure you purchase the correct one, the one that fits your phone. You have this one with 3 marks on it, and there's this one with 2 marks on it. Very important to purchase the one with 3 marks on it, then it will fit your phone properly. One common mistake people make is they forget to check the sound before. So before you start recording the interview, check the sound quality. Do this several times until you're completely happy. Then you'll be able to start your film. And then when you finish your recording of your film, check the sound again. Make sure it's perfect.
Yeah, I think it's a really good tip to just, when you have made an interview, just double check Does it sound right? Is it okay? Is everything with that we're gonna that I want to have? Because that's the hard part with the mobile phone, is to secure the sound. So it's tricky, and you need to practice, 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 practice. Because when you manage it, you can get really good quality, and you can work fast. Let's continue.
A good way to start a film is to have a full-length body shot. But don't be too long about it. It's important to move on to a half body shot or upper body shot. Is a good distance when doing an interview. And it's also helpful when editing. Now we're going to see a close-up. The closer we come to the subject, the more emotions involved. It's good to consider what kind of emotions would you like to capture in this film. Now we will move to an extreme close-up. Now this is an extreme close-up.
Yeah, I hope you get scared to see the extreme close-up. But one important thing here is to, if you want to tell the story with images, so for example, if you have an event, you can show the event as where am I? Okay, you show the house where you are at. And the next step is what happening, and you see the main purpose of the event, like people are reading to each other, or what it can be. But so you establish your brain, like where am I, what is happening. And then when you have a interview, it's like it says here, it's first, if you shoot a body shot, you get the experience, okay, this is who it is and the situation and location and everything, and then you go through closer, and as you closer you get, the more emotions you can get to it. Okay, next part is camera angles.
An important aspect in filming is getting the camera angles right. If the person being interviewed talks directly to the camera, it can feel quite intimidating. You there, I'm talking to you. What's important when doing an interview is you talk to the person doing the interview. You make sure there's more distance this side and less distance this side. You see what happens now? Too much room this side, not much room this side. So getting the camera angles correct is very important.
There's some quick tips of how to get the angles correct. And if you follow these tips with the shot, the angles, and the sound, you will create the really good interviews in an easy way. And then you need to focus a little bit on the lighting as well. So let's take a look at that.
Now we will focus our attention on the lighting when you make a film. Best of all is if you can use natural lighting outdoors. Which direction is the light coming from? Also good to consider. If the light is coming from behind the person, then you need to use one of these reflection panels. Light is coming from behind the person, it reflects onto the reflection panel into the face of the person being interviewed. You can also use two lights, a main source of lighting and a secondary source of lighting. The main source should be pointing directly onto the object, whilst using the secondary light source as a backup. The camera should be directly in front of the actor. This will give very good lighting results. Outdoor filming requires good judgment. If the sunlight is too strong, you may need to find somewhere with a bit more shadow and shade. That will help you get the perfect results. And don't forget, if it is too dark, why not use your reflection screen? It will help you.
Exposure and focus is another important part, and there's a few easy way of handling this. So let's take a look at this.
Whilst filming on your smartphone, you can experience changes to the lighting, affecting the image. But this can be solved By touching the screen with your finger, this will lock the exposure, removing this problem, like that.
Yeah, I think that's so important. So if you think you're planning of doing an interview, for example, just make sure you go to the place, you take a look. Okay, there is the light. Okay, I need the light in the face of the person I'm going to interview. Okay, regarding sound, are there any disturbing noise around? Okay, something, can I turn it off? Okay, I can turn it off, and then I do it. I double check the sound. I do the interview. Okay, I listen again. The angles. I take a look at the angles. When I do the interview, I have the same angle the whole time, so I can edit it. And then afterwards, I take different angles, so I can use as covers in the interview. And I use a tripod to have a stable shot. That's how easy it is to create a video. And at Cloudread, we have all these tips and tricks of how to make good interviews, how to create different type of videos, etc. I could just show you a summary first.
Let's summarize what's important when making a film. Number one, good sound quality. Where are you filming? What do you need to take into consideration? Traffic, barking dogs, air conditioning. Can you remove this sound if possible? If you have no access to fancy equipment, then why not use your headphones? Making sure, of course, there is a microphone on it. Test the sound. Make sure it works before you start your recording. And then after, at the end of the film, check it once again. Perfect sound. Number two, good lighting is needed. Take into consideration, where am I? How can I best use the light around me? If I'm interviewing somebody, make sure the light is into their face. If it's coming from behind them, use a reflector to help the light bounce back onto their face. Number three, you'll need a lot of energy. When making a film on your smartphone, it requires a lot of energy from your phone, so make sure it has enough. If you're interviewing somebody, make sure you have a lot of energy. And that way you will give the person you're filming energy too. Try to use your own words. Be natural, be genuine on the screen. Use heartfelt questions when interviewing somebody. Try and reach their heart. Bring out emotion into your film. And most importantly, have lots of fun.
Here are some general tips. I'm gonna give you some extra just understanding of how you can create like an event video. For example, if you see if you're using a template, it will always approximately look the same. If you have an event without an interview, you can see you start with establishing where am I, what is happening, what's happening, some happy people, and you do some different shots with a full image and half image and close-ups. And you add some music, and then you have an event video within a few minutes. If you have an interview, you just choose event with interview, and what happens is that you have a presentation embedded inside the events. So when you start to work with videos, make sure that you plan your production and you know what you are doing. Like interview with overlay videos, that's the most common thing we do, is that we have a main track where we put the interview and we have the overlays, and the system automatically delivers it in a way that we don't need to edit all these interviews. We just need to put them in these standard templates. Okay, that was all I had now for start helping you give you tips and tricks of how using your mobile phone to get it like a weapon to create online video. So thank you for now, and good luck with your video production.